And what is going on, wrestling people? My name is Jason Bryant, and this is the Short Time Wrestling Podcast, kind of the speakeasy edition as I continue to work through a couple things in regards to, like live streaming. So I'm going to make sure that my things are up and running. Trying this thing out on Facebook. Thank you for joining in on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, and the Book of Faces. A Girl Has No Face. That's a Game of Thrones thing. So what I'm doing today is a little bit of a test with how I'm doing my audio. So now I'm going to run a backing track back here. So we're going to have that ever so low in the back to give myself a little bit of ambiance. Yeah, there it is. That's from Backing Track, which is from Epos Vox, which is a stream professor. So a lot of these videos that I've been looking and trying to do to try to fix this thing, including the lag, which is going to be an issue. I should probably check that before I keep going. So you're getting a live update of, what's this? Well, I might want to unmute that. All right, well, that doesn't look terrible. So what we've got, I'm going to talk about my coverage and announcing schedule right now. I've done this about 16 times this morning, or this evening now. It's 1:30 here, Central Time on October the 14th. This is the Speakeasy Studio. I've been building this thing for years. COVID interrupted it. We're going to be doing a lot of watching wrestling segments from that TV back there, which I will not be showing you, but we'll be here. We'll be over there at the bar. We'll have people coming in through the Discord. I've got a chat room right now that is wide open. So, for example, if I'm sitting there talking to people, I'm going to go over to my Discord server, and I'm going to hit the chat. I'm going to bring this thing bad boy over. So this is kind of a live display of how I'm doing it. So I've got a Speakeasy live channel. So I'm going to type in my Discord for all my my Matt Talk patrons and fans and such that come in. We talk wrestling. So this is what we see! And an exclamation point. So now there it is. It's going to show up that way, right there on the screen. So when I'm not having guests and I'm doing kind of these solo shows, we'll have the chat in there. When I have guests and such, you'll see the Restream interface because I'm using Restream for this. But what I want to talk about today is, where am I going? I'm going to be busy. Well, I just got back from Norway, so you guys kind of knew I was there. All right, I think I'm done with the backing track, so I've got to work on that. Get rid of Final Battle. Still working on just the nuances of all this. I do not have a producer. I have a staff of 10 fingers. So let's start with the schedules of where I'm going when the year starts. So we'll bring it up on the screen here. So a lot of you know that I've done a lot of work with the Little Rock wrestling program. We did Rocked Up. It was the start of basically wrestling in Arkansas. Granted, we can go back to the 1950s, late 40s, early 50s with Harold Nichols, the former Iowa State coach that did so much, kind of giving us a little bit of history to deal with. Then there was a long, long gap between college wrestling and any type of wrestling in Arkansas. Rocked Up at GetRockedUp.com chronicles that. Now, Little Rock going to go into season number 3, and I'm pretty much their home announcer. So I will be at 5 of the 6 home matches this year. There's one of them that I cannot make because I've already got a prior commitment with one of these events that's coming up. So Little Rock, I will kick off on November 6th with the Little Rock Open. Yes, their first open tournament at the Jack Stevens Center. I love Arkansas. I love Little Rock. It's a special place, and I'm just thankful that Neil, Javi, and the staff there at Little Rock have been, bringing me into the fold. Because when that school in Norfolk dropped wrestling, I was left without a home. And as a journalist, yeah, you're not supposed to have a rooting interest, but as more of as an advocate these days, and I think J.P. Williams from the NCAA says a wrestling enthusiast. Yes, I am an advocate, a supporter, or whatnot of the sport of wrestling in all its various forms. So Little Rock is my home team in this regard. So when you come into Little Rock, you're going to get the nice handshake and a hello, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to Little Rock. Yeah, I'm a hired gun for Little Rock. So you're going to get the announcer treatment that way. So November 6th, I'll be in Little Rock. But the next week, it's kind of funny, I will be a neutral announcer in La Crosse on November 12th, as there's a triple duel. Wisconsin is going to host Little Rock. That's odd. Well, they're not going to host it. La Crosse will be hosting the event. So the University of Wisconsin will take on Little Rock in Division 1. In Division 2, Upper Iowa will take on Ouachita Baptist, oddly, an Arkansas school. And in Division 3, Wisconsin La Crosse, the host, Coach Dave Malachek, talked me into got me on the schedule for this real early. We need to jump ship to the next one there. You see La Crosse on your screen. They are going to host the University of the Ozarks, which was the school that Little Rock wrestled in its first ever dual meet, in which I announced down in Little Rock. So that's the first 2 weeks of the season. Well, my first 2 weeks, November 6th and November 12th. Then I go a little bit of a break. Then Thanksgiving weekend, we're going to go to New York. And guess what I get to do? Right there in the corner, grapple at the Gridiron. Wheels, what are you posting here? You know, gifts don't like gifts, GIFs, whatever you want to call them. They don't show up here in the chat. Be gone with that. Wheels is one of the folks in the Discord that's checking this out. So anyway, where was I? I lost my train of thought. November 27th, Garden State Grapple at the Prudential Center, the home of the New Jersey Devils. Dylan Wanagale, who was behind Grapple at the Garden when it was at Madison Square Garden. Well, guess what? He's now at the Prudential Center, and he's bringing a wrestling event to New Jersey. Rutgers, North Carolina, Hofstra, Wisconsin. Yeah. Oh, actually, you need to Wisconsin. I can't do Wisconsin. I'm still working on my voice from Norway. So that's what's coming up November 27th. Now, I'm hoping that I can work on a rather large high school event in Ohio the second weekend of December. I do not have anything confirmed on that. I am inquiring about that. There are some discussions. Maybe I'll make my return to Central Ohio. Finally, anyway, I'm not going to do rock jokes. So December 19th, Little Rock. Again, this time they're hosting Meet Coach Lightning Luke Smith and the Roadrunners of CSU Bakersfield. Then it's Christmas. So this year, I'm not doing the Midlands because for years I've done the event, and with young kids I can't do a lot of Christmas and holiday things because I'm usually flying back on New Year's Eve. So I told the staff at Northwestern I had to step away for a bit. I don't see this as a permanent thing, but while my kids are young, we've never been to Virginia for Christmas. We've never been anywhere for Christmas. I've been to Midlands for the holidays for the last decade. So I want to have a chance to spend some of those Christmases with my kids and have that opportunity to maybe do a destination Christmas or to go up to the lake and not have to, get up and leave for a tournament. Ultimately, I have that flexibility. So Midlands, this isn't goodbye. It's just hang out for a bit. So I'll be back on the schedule in due time. That being said, next event, going to try to get back to the NWCA Multi-Divisional National Duels in Louisville, Kentucky. It's kind of that first week in January. It doesn't fall on a weekend, which makes things really interesting because then we can go to the non-D1 events. It's always crazy for the dual meet advancements. We've got win streaks on the line. Who knows by that time, does Grandview and St. Cloud State still have their win streaks? Because those two teams are just rolling along. Grandview's won over 100. St. Cloud State is in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken, right now. I've got to look at it. I've got the stats somewhere. You can actually go to my Rockfin channel and check that out. But NWCA National Duels. And then I'm going to try to be able to see if I can swing, Little Rock again, hosting the Cowboys of Oklahoma State the day after. So I'm going to have to get creative with the flights. And if you're wondering how far Louisville is from Little Rock, it ain't close, folks. Just because things are in a certain geographical region. Yeah, it's I think it's at least a 6, maybe an 8-hour drive. So that's just not going to happen. But that's January 8th. Then you can go home again. The 41st annual Virginia Duels. It should have been the 42nd, but we didn't have one last year. So that's how that works. Oh, I get to go back home. It's usually that's Christmas for me, but get to see high school teammates, get to see college roommates that are everywhere. A lot of people that I grew up that really were a big part of the sport of wrestling for me back in Virginia. That's who I get to see. So Virginia Duels. Then I come back home, and a couple weeks after that, January 27th, these guys, the Augies of Augsburg, get to host these guys, the Knights of Wartburg, the Battle of the Berg, Cy Melby Hall, Minneapolis. That is going to be a Thursday night. That's a duel that, it's kind of hard depending on where you live in the country. If you live in the upper Midwest, that's a duel you got to get to. It is the duel among duels in Division III. It's one of the top rivalries in college sports, and it's unique because these teams are not in the same conference. They are in neighboring states. And their last 4 letters are Berg, and they've won every national title in Division III since, I want to say 92 or 95. It's something ridiculous. It's been over 20-something years. It's either been a Wartburg or an Augsburg, and it's going to be a fun duel. Always is a fun duel. They get the TV stations out in Minneapolis. When you get a major metro area to get TV stations out for this, it's pretty nuts. So that's the next one. Then I turn around and I go back to Little Rock, where Cal Poly and Northern Illinois will be taking on the Trojans. That is on January 30th. Then I come back the next week to Little Rock. Yep, February 6th, Little Rock's hosting the Sun Devils of Arizona State. So, yep, on the PA there again. Do not know what my situation is going to be for a bout at the ballpark. I am inquiring, but again, I don't make those decisions on whether or not I'll be there announcing or if I'm going to be there as a fan or if I'm going to be there as media. I do not know what my situation is for February 12th as yet. Then we move forward to the first weekend in March. Now, the site has not been officially announced yet by the NAIA. It was in Wichita last year. This is a logo from last year. So, if you read between the lines, no, there's nothing there. It's just the logo that I had for the NAIA championships. It's probably going to be in that part of the country. That's really all I can say. Back on the mic there for that. Then, week later, U.S. Cellular Center, which is not its name anymore. I'll have to look it up. But that building in Cedar Rapids that loves wrestling, yep, Division III championships. Back on the mic there before wrapping things up in Detroit Rock City. Yes, Detroit Rock City, the NCAA championships, Little Caesars Arena. I'm curious because last time we were in the Detroit area, because Auburn Hills is not Detroit. Matter of fact, that building is gone. And I know me and some buddies, we spent a lot of time at Champs in Troy. There was a Champs here on the block when I moved here to New Brighton. It is no longer there. It's a Cowboy Jacks. So that being said, that's all I got, and I'm just seeing how this works out. I've got the video seems okay on Twitch, thanks to my man Wheels. We got Hager Tony jumping in, letting us know. Oh, man, that was a frustrating couple hours. I want to thank my boys, the Tall Lebowski, the Bismarck 189, the Giarlas of the world. Sent me a link, and I realized it was probably my audio sync with everything else being 44.1 and this being 48. That makes sense, and that's the last thing I didn't check because everything else shooting out of this is 48. So I've run this thing for about 12 minutes. We'll find out. I'd like to thank you for spending your action. Let me see. Anything else we want to jump in there? So if you're in the chat, and we've got, okay, it's go time. Wheels, that is a graphic I can see. That is Go Speed Racer. I can actually jump that up. Let's see what we can do here. I want to see what this looks like. Let's go with the, okay, here's what the Discord looks like. So yeah, there you go. You can see that there. I can jump back in. There's the chat. And I'm going to get rid of the schedule box here. So, oh man, no sound on YouTube. Well, that's interesting. That's real interesting. Thanks, Ed. I'll look at that real quick while I got you. So this is, again, product testing. A little bit of a video, a little bit of what now? Who is messaging me now? This is where, yeah, okay, not interested in that. Don't need to know about that. I got all this stuff. So you said it's on YouTube. It's not showing up, Ed. All right. Let's see. Is the chat working? Let's do the old refresh. All right. Let's check that. Live now, one watching. I've got headphones on, so this won't bleed through. No, I got audio on YouTube. You might want to check your muted tab. Okay. All right. It's a slight hair delay, but for the most part, I'm happy with it. That being said, thank you for spending your time with me because you've always got time for short time. Let's see. What else do we got? We got the full screen here. You can get rid of the chat. There's the, I'm not going to hit the intermission screen. Audio dies with the bar shot. So let's get the chat back up there. Yeah, see, there you go, Ed. That is a North Central College hat. That is a Cardinals hat. I'm wearing Princeton Wrestling. Burn the ships, burn the boats. I think UMary was burn the boats. Princeton was burn the ships. But, yeah, so I've been working on tweaking this thing for a while. I know, Tony, you've got a sweet setup with Hager's Happy Hour. I'm finally getting the speakeasy to something I can be proud of, and hopefully the audio and the video situation makes this a listenable experience for you, the viewers. So there's going to be a lot of watching wrestling. I'm going to be on the road doing some things and having some fun, but I appreciate audio messed up on Twitch, audio video clean on Twitter. Okay, that's good to know. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, guys. Appreciate for testing. Now I'm going to go to the little offline, the Be Right Back screen, and you're not going to hear me anymore. And I got to figure out how to ultimately. I've still got to work on automation. So we got to fire the songs back up. Man, we got some evil stuff going back there. Yeah, you can hear it. Let's go to my countdown screen, or is it my intermission screen?